Welcome back folks, my name is LastKnownMeal and today we're gonna be taking a closer look at Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty teaser trailer. So this is going to be the first and only expansion for Cyberpunk 2077, and I honestly was not expecting that they're going to go with the angle of new United States of America government, because this whole story with them and basically what was happening in the background is huge. So there is going to be a lot of conspiracies and mysteries, I believe, in the expansion itself, which does pique my interest. And today we're going to be going through each scene, we're going to analyze it and see what we can pick up and also talk more about the lore itself. So without further wasting your time, let's get into the video. So in the first scene we do see actually a lot of Militech, and I do believe that this location is actually going to be around Stadium in Pacifica, because there is actually a shot later on where an AV crashes onto the stadium in Pacifica itself, but at the same time this could be a new part of the location itself that they had planned. Now another thing we saw like in this scene is obviously Militech. Now why Militech? Well, Militech as a corporation is heavily tied with the new United States government. Arasaka not so much, but whenever the federal government needs to do something, or they need soldiers or whatever, of course they have their own military, that's still a thing, but Militech is going to be like this extended arm. They're going to hire for everything, and they have very close ties, because do keep in mind that the current president of the new United States is Rosalind Myers, and Rosalind Myers is an ex-CEO of Militech. And before her you had Elizabeth Kress, which actually resigned somewhere around 2060, and even Elizabeth Kress was an ex-CEO of Militech. So you can actually see a lot of those connections, that basically new United States government is Militech and Militech is new United States government. I know that they're not really like they're more of a symbiosis rather than just being the same body, but at the same time they're gonna be taking a lot from each other, and you can see right here that Militech branding, the logo on the front, is pretty much everywhere. Now this next location is very interesting because I love the light on this this pyramid, it seems. So this is going to be another location that we're going to visit. The character is actually driving in the vehicle itself, so this might be somewhere from the beginning of the expansion itself where we actually do take the oath, because at the beginning we hear V repeating after someone, probably that lady that we've seen, that they're going to pledge an allegiance to the United States and they're going to serve as an agent or a spy or something like that, maybe even a contractor. But whenever you kind of take the oath, you're gonna be working with them. The vehicle that we can kind of see a glimpse of is interesting. I'm not sure if this is the existing vehicle in the game or something new, but it's kind of difficult to determine right now. Now next thing we actually see is the arm of V, and I think that this V actually has gorilla arms, unless there was something new. And they open up in this bazaar. I kind of think that this bazaar is actually from Pacifica that we've seen so far, but it might be just either a new location or they're going to expand the existing one. But obviously we can see like there is going to be a weapons vendor. We see a few people just hanging out down there, and yeah, it's pretty much a cool location that we're going to visit. And then we have another interesting scene which kind of piqued my interest around everything which is going to be happening in this expansion. So first off, we see the seal of the president of the new United States, and we see probably a lot of agents lying down that were working for NUSA. So it's gonna be interesting to see what actually happened here, who attacked them, because attacking the government itself is not going to be carried out by someone who is weak or who doesn't have a huge backing behind them. And it's especially interesting to see where this location is going to be like, because this looks like an underground bunker. So maybe we actually do have some underground secret government bunkers beneath Night City itself, which would be very cool thing to see and experience in the game. But obviously we cannot confirm this location until we see it in the game itself. But some of the things we can probably determine here is that these bodyguards or government agents have like these cybernetic arms, which it would be cool that also RV is gonna be able to get something like this. But yeah, so far very cool. And then we see this location. So we have two AVs going down to this probably what seems to be the crash basically the crash location of that AV we're going to talk about a bit later. And we do see two AVs, probably Militech, jumping down. I doubt that this is you know, Psycho Squad, because they're not gonna be jumping into things like these, but it does seem that after the AV crashes that there is going to be a certain situation and government just has to come in. So my question is, why is that AV so important, and what or whom was it carrying? Because that's gonna be probably the biggest premise. Then we do see a different location where we're attacking what it seems to be Militech agents, and we're gonna be using the nano or the monovire itself to fight them. Pretty much a standard scene. I love the location, I like the light behind them, and it does seem that this is... I doubt that we had this location before, so this could be something new unless I absolutely missed it from before, but it does seem that this is going to be a somewhat of an important location just because of the details that we actually see. When it comes to logos, it's kind of difficult to determine which logo is this, but it could be again something heavily tied to Militech themselves, or well, NUSA. Then we see another very cool location, what seems to be a greenhouse that honestly was not here before. Actually, we haven't seen it in the original vanilla game, so I do wonder where is this location going to be. And we see a nice little weapon. I think that maybe these rounds are like shock rounds or something that we're gonna be able to have just because of the effect and how this guy, this scav, basically explodes. Now this location is, I think, by far one of the most interesting ones, because what is this behind them? First I thought that this is going to be some sort of a black wall, if this is going to be, but we're not in the net right now. We see V picking up the sword itself, and I believe this in front of her is the Militech agent, or at least someone connected with the government. So the question is, what is this and what are they actually protecting? Because this seems to be like something incredibly important, but honestly I cannot determine right now what it is or what they're gonna be using this for, but I don't know, it's interesting. Now next thing, we see this woman who is definitely the part of the government, and she's handing out either a piece of paper or maybe even this handkerchief that she has to V. Now of course people assume that this is the president, the current president of the United States government, which she is not. So again, we know how Rosalind Myers looks, so they either change the president for the expansion and maybe this woman is the new president, or this is going to be an absolutely new character that we've never heard about before. But it does seem that this is going to be one of the main people we're gonna be interacting with. And of course we have the location of where the AV actually dropped. So this is the stadium in Pacifica. We can easily determine that because if we go into video game itself, we have the same location. So this is where I went, and you can see it right here. This is the location where we are going to have this huge crash. So it does seem that they're going to be rebuilding the stadium itself, which is another fun, you know, thing to figure out, because there has to be a reason why would someone rebuild a combat zone. There has to be something crazy happening down there, and because we have a huge location there which is still unused, it's pretty much safe to assume that this area that I'm showing you right now is going to be used for later on and expanded, because before this location you have a wall that you cannot cross unless you're using free fly or no clip mode. And of course on the left we have a character which does seem to be an engram of some sort, just because of the glitching you can see. People have been assuming that this is Songbird. So Songbird is a leaked character, or a leaked character mention that people got like long time ago, and apparently a Songbird is going to be one of the people in this expansion. At the same time, again, it could be the actual look of this woman in the front is a little bit different from the original tease that we got. So maybe this is Songbird, or maybe this is absolutely someone else. I also like the jacket that she is wearing. It does seem like this basically a rib cage and everything in the back. So I'm assuming that this is going to be a jacket we're gonna be getting as V. So the AV itself is also interesting because it doesn't look like a regular military one, but it also looks like it was carrying something incredibly important. But again, the question is going to be, why did it crash right here? And this is pretty much everything we can determine from this trailer. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I mean, I tried to explain everything that I managed to get here. There is going to be a lot of lore we're gonna be talking about in the future, so I'm gonna be making those videos where I'm gonna be talking about the history of new United States government, how they function and so on, so we can kind of figure out maybe what is going on. But I'm excited for this. Hopefully it's good when it comes out, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to tell me down below what do you think about this, and tell me, like, do you like it, do you dislike it? Just let me know down below. And also don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button for more, and huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. If you want to support the channel in an extra way, I do have a Patreon page. And this is LKM signing out. Stay classy everyone, and bye bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.